Hey guys, you're going to be doing day 4 motion today. So I'm going to start in my photo P, going to file, open, and I'm just going to start with a picture of Anna, and I want to take her out, and then I'm going to pick one of the backgrounds I used before. Just got to scroll down and grab it. I have everything saved in one file to kind of keep myself um, together while using it. And then I'm going to make a new file. So I should have 3 things popping up. Check my inches. Since I pick a wide file, I want to make sure my width is a little bit more. I'm just going to change it to 16 by 10 and voila. Okay. So I'm going to once again delete my background, make my new layer, hit delete right here. Okay. And then I'm going to take Anna out and I'm also going to copy this over. So remember, Control A, or if you're on a Mac, Command A, we'll highlight that, and then Control C, and then Control V. Okay, apple cider vinegar. That's the way I always say, because it's ACV. And then once you have your background here, for those of us who are struggling to get, the transformations part down, you can come up here to edit transform. Oh, didn't click the wrong thing. Edit transform, and you can see that the codes are here too. Like if you need to transform what you already did, it's right here. It's going to be Alt Control T. Okay, on your computers, if you're on a Mac, it's Command Control T. Now I'm going to hold Shift because I want to keep it even. And then when I'm done, you hit Enter. If you have an image that isn't as blurry as the one that I have right now, it'll become smooth once you basically finish that and hit Enter. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to close that. I don't like to keep my space cluttered because of that. Then I'm going to either use the lasso tool or the quick selection tool to take out my character. Okay. Kind of, as we continue to keep doing this, you get used to using this tool and it gets a little bit easier. I know it's not Photoshop. I know it's a little bit different, but if you read my one post and my one email, if you have a desktop and you want to use Photoshop, you can use your school account right now. All right. I gave you that option. If you need me to resend the information, let me know. Okay. So I just highlighted everything in Anna. It got picked up. The only thing, and see, this perfectly happens. I don't want this extra stuff. What you can do to check is you can hit Refine Edge, all right? And then I'll tell you if it only highlighted what you need. Now, the only thing it picked up down here was that, but I can erase that. So I'm going to hit OK. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control A, sorry, Control C, and Control V. And now I'm going to bring her over. Okay, and then remember, if you need to, you can go to Alt Control T. Okay, if you're on a Mac, it's Command Control T. There's so many different codes, and they're different on each computer, so it gets to be a little hard to remember, so I apologize on that. I'm holding Shift to keep her even. All right, I wanted something with where she was in motion already, you can see it in the character that she's in motion. The only thing I want to do before I move on is I'm going to clean up this line down here. So you can just come in once you've brought your character over. And sometimes you can do this, just hit the eye to look and see what you need to do. You can erase anything you don't need. If it's extra little stuff, I always come in and clean it up just to check. This way I'm checking to see if there's anything else that needs to be cleaned up. And it was a pretty clean takeover, so I should be fine. Then what we can do with the layer, you're going to come up to layer and hit duplicate layer, which as you can see, the code is right here, right? Do you see that code? Okay, it says Control J. If you are on a Mac, it's Command J. So now I have 2 copies, and like I said, you're doing it 4 to 5 times. So I'm going to do Command J one more time and one more time because my main copy on here, this will be my original. That's the way I'm going to think of it. All right, so I want to take layer 2. Or I guess it'll end up being layer. I'm going to start with this one actually. Layer 2, copy 4. I'm going to take that away and you can see that it moved. So that helps a little bit. What you'll do is you're going to go up to filter and you're going to go up to blur. There's something called Gaussian blur, which gives it almost like if you weren't wearing glasses and you needed glasses, it gives it that kind of blur. It doesn't give it a harsh blur. It gives it more of a softer blur. Okay, I know because when I take my glasses off, some things appear fuzzy like that to me, and it's not like if I were looking at a screen and somebody really just blurred something that was very off. It's more like a realistic type of blur. So now I can change the radius if I really want her to be blurred all the way in the back. I'm going to do like 21 or 22. I'm going to start with that one. So remember that 21. And I'm going to get my arrow tool, bring the next one over. Okay. Then I'm going to, and eventually you're going to want to start dragging these behind. Does that make sense to you guys? This should be behind your layer 2. It should be coming across the page. So, and I always start and then drag. Okay, so I'm going to go to filter again. I'm going to go to blur. I'm going to go to Gaussian blur. And remember, I was at 21 last time, so I want to do a little less. So I'm going to do 18 this time, so it's not as strong. Drag that one down, and that's going to go above this one because you want it to be in layers. And then I'm going to pick my next one, bring it over. Okay, and then I'm going to do same thing. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. All right, oop, too much. Let's see, so I did 18 last time. Let's do 14. Maybe 12 this time, a little bit more. You can always go back and readjust things if you need to. Okay, drag this down here, and then my layer 2 copy, which is going to be the closest one to her. Do filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then since I was at 14, I'm going to do, or sorry, 12, I'm going to do this down at like 9.3, maybe 8.3, so you can still kind of see her there. Then drag this below, and voila, you have your motion blur. Now, if you want to bring them closer, you can always come in and click on each layer and drag them a little bit closer as you need. But that's your call on how, like, the type of motion you're obtaining. Maybe they're closer together at the end because it does start to look like this blur kind of going off into the distance. Okay, and that's all I'm requiring for this project. So once you're done, remember, save it as a PSD. Mine just automatically saves to my downloads file, and then you can export it as a JPEG as well. Okay, and you just make sure the percentage is 100%, hit save, and you're all done. Okay. And make sure you name it too. Don't forget, I forgot to do that when I opened up and hit a new file. All right. Hope this helps. Have fun with this project. See you guys.